What is up? It is Red, the Rideshare Ginger, coming right back at you. And you're going to get a little bit of an angry ginger today. So, this video is titled, Do Not Drive for Uber. And that's a do not drive for Uber if you're just going to bitch and complain about everything. Like, at this point, everyone's complaining everywhere about everything. At the end of the day, you are doing a job that, in my opinion, is very easy. You sit in a seat, you drive around, and you talk to people. You may have to do a little bit of luggage. You may sit in a little bit of traffic. But in all reality, it's easy. This is probably one of the easiest things I've ever done in my life. If you think it's difficult, it might not be for you. Or you enjoy doing difficult things, and then it is for you. I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't do things that are hard, but there's not much to complain about with this. You're not going to find many places where you're going to make over $20 an hour, where you're just sitting on your butt, talking to people, and you get to choose when you want to work and when you don't want to work. I don't know where you're going to find that, but people want to complain about the destination filters. People want to complain about the rates. People want to complain about sitting in traffic. People want to complain about the passengers. People want to complain about picking up luggage. People want to complain about getting reported for this, getting reported for that. First off, understand the rules and the regulations before you start making a complaint. Like, if a passenger reports you for being drunk or high, they have to immediately pull you off the platform. It's a liability for them, and the city of Chicago mandates it. So, and if I'm speaking out of turn there and I'm wrong on that, let me know. Like, I'm not always going to be right. But from what I've read up on the rideshare laws in the city of Chicago, if you get reported for being drunk or high, they have to deactivate you from the platform while they investigate it, which makes sense. And Uber and Lyft wouldn't want you on the platform if you didn't report for that. Think about this. Someone reports you for it, and they don't deactivate you. You get into an accident, get a DUI, and they never deactivated you, you know they're going to be liable if someone reported it an hour before that. So just don't be silly. Like, understand all the rules and regulations before you start making complaints. Now, yes, I understand. In theory, the rates are lower than what they used to be. I've only been doing this for 9.5, 10 months at this point, something like that. It started towards the middle of May last year, so we're getting close to a full year. And yes, the rates have technically been cut since I've been in here, but the rate. All right, sorry about that. Again, I'm not a professional here. Apparently, I don't know how to put my phone in airplane mode. I just did. I got interrupted by a phone call. But like I was saying, the most recent rate change didn't affect, or rate cut, if you want to call it that, didn't impact my overall earnings. Now, for some of you, maybe it did. Maybe it slightly impacted what you do and how you do it, but overall, it's a higher per time rate and a lower per mile rate. So you just got to adjust strategy a little bit, but not even that much. It wasn't that drastic of a change. So for me, it didn't impact me. And maybe it impacted you slightly, but I can't imagine it's a drastic impact. And so now the city has, in theory, less surge the last week and a half. It is what it is at this point. Like, complaining about it isn't going to solve issues. And some of the ways people are complaining about it is going to cause more issues, potentially. You got to realize at the end of the day, Uber's here to make money. You're an independent contractor. You are not an employee of Uber. If you want to be an employee, then you can start pushing for that and try to be an employee. And maybe that ends up being the way it goes in the future, but I don't see it going that way. You're going to continue to be an independent contractor because it just makes more sense for Uber and Lyft as a whole. And I prefer to be an independent contractor. I don't want to be told when I got to work and how I got to work and how much I got to work. I would prefer to be an independent contractor, set my hours, and decide where I'm going to work and when I want to work. So if they want to fuck around with surge, then they fuck around with surge. I'm not dependent on surge. My earnings are not dependent on surge. If you earnings are dependent on surge, then make a change. And if the issue you had is going from the multiplier to flat surge and you weren't able to adapt, then maybe this isn't for you. There's going to be changes. There's going to continue to be changes over and over and over again. They're not going to settle on one thing. It's going to continue to change. If you can't adapt to those changes, then maybe it's time to make a change and end up in a different industry, in a different business at this point. It's going to be tough to continue driving rideshare if you're not able to adapt. So like I've said in some of my past videos, there was an adaptation that can be made going from the multiplier to the flat surge. If you made that adaptation, you probably didn't see a huge hit in your earnings, and you may have earned more if you're doing it right during certain times of the day or during certain weekends, and as a whole potentially earning more if you adapted and made a change. Talking with older drivers, this job's always been about adapting and making changes as Uber and Lyft have made their changes. Like I said, I've only been doing this for about 12 months now, so I haven't had to adapt and make that many changes, but I've had to adjust things and change things up. And if you're not willing to do that, you're probably not going to be continually profitable or as profitable as you have been previously. But bitching and complaining isn't going to really solve many of your issues, because Uber and Lyft, they're here to make money, and you don't really understand how they're trying to make money. There's the thought that it's a transportation company and they're going to try to make money that way, but ultimately it's a tech company, and data is where they're going to make their money, and they're going to sell that data and make money that way, or use that data to sell specific things to make money. So your goals are not aligned with Uber and Lyft. They want to make money, but they're not necessarily wanting to make money the same way you want to make money. So you just got to find a way to make your goals align with what they're allowing you to do and make money going forward. And put your ass in the seat and just drive. Ass in seat and drive. That's the only way you're going to make money in this job. If you're not in the seat and you don't have a passenger in the back, like right now, I'm not making shit. If you don't have a passenger in the back, or you don't have food sitting in your front seat, you're not making any money. That's just kind of the name of the game. Put passengers in the vehicle and be smart about it. Like, ultimately, driving during high traffic times, probably not the best choice and the best use of your time. Now, if you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. Like, some people can only drive certain times of the day. Like right now, I've only been working 3 or 4 days a week and maximizing that time when I can. And so sometimes I got to drive during high traffic times, but you avoid the traffic, try to end up somewhere else. But use your time accordingly. Drive the way that's going to maximize your earnings. And everyone's a little bit different, but watch my videos, watch Trent's videos, watch Gio's videos. There's other people out there too, but try to watch Chicago specific videos where they're telling you how to make a little bit more money and the ways they're going about it. Now, yes, the destination filter is 30% less. So Gio's loop method that I was using, not necessarily the most effective way anymore. It still might be more effective than other ways, even with the 30% discount, but it's not the most effective way, I'm sure, at this point. And I've given you some tips as to what I'm doing during the morning rush. I don't have a lot of tips on the afternoon rush because I haven't worked that often. That's something that I tend to avoid. I can deal with the morning rush. The afternoon traffic just kind of kills my soul, so I try to stay out of it as much as possible. But my cheer season's wrapping up here within the next month, and you'll start seeing me drive a little bit more in a few different hours. I am considering doing a full day of eats and letting you know how that goes. I do some eats here and there, and let me know if you want to see that, and let me know if there's a specific day of the week that you'd prefer me to try to do a full day of eats. I won't do that until my cheer season's done, because I can't sacrifice a day of earnings. It might be awful, it might be good. I've heard some back and forth on it, so I can't afford to sacrifice a full day of earnings right now until after my cheer season's done and over with. So that is something I'm looking to do. Keep a lookout. I'm going to try to pump out these videos more and more as often as I can. But overall, Uber is not the thing for you if you're just going to bitch and complain. Go find something else that is going to make you happier and make you enjoy life a little bit more. Now, if you like the money that's associated with it, but you don't like the job, then deal with it. Don't complain about it. Make your money, because that's what you're here for. And just move on with your life and keep moving forward. This job's not going to be here forever, so take advantage of it while you can. You're not going to find many other places where you're going to make $20 to $30 to $40 an hour, depending on the time, where you get to pick your own schedule and you're not doing much physical labor, if at all. You're not really doing any physical labor. I mean, moving your foot up and down is very minimal physical labor at this point. So, I don't know. I see complaints everywhere. I've been trolling the Facebook pages because I'm tired of seeing the complaints and people complaining and people talking out their asses, not really knowing what they're talking about at this point and not really understanding the way things are. But I'll continue putting tidbits in probably every video about things you need to shut the fuck up about and stop complaining about and just getting in the seat. But I don't want this video to drag on too long at this point. So keep an eye out for videos coming forward. I will try to do, one of the bigger complaints about my channel so far has been it's more of a diary versus tips. So I'm going to try to put out more and more tips going forward, and things to do to help you earn more money, and the things that I'm doing to earn more money. Yeah, if you haven't already, I'll put a full video out on this, but take a look at Product Lab. You might pick up an extra 10 to 15 bucks per week, depending on how their promo is going, but Product Lab, something to take a look at. But until next time, like, comment, share, send me emails, whatever you need to do. And if you missed the last video, this is the video you need to comment on in order to get entered into the gift card contest and to earn a little bit of extra cash out of my pocket. But as always, I appreciate the likes, the watches, whatever you got to do. I appreciate it. And I will try to put out more videos going forward. Thanks.